Hello everybody, thank you for watching our video. This is Jimmy Wu from Prowork Pacific Inc, your licensed architect. Today I want to talk about one topic. I have few customers ask me about that and I think it's interesting to show you everybody. My customer asked me that, Jimmy, I have my home for a while, or someone even they bought their house for a while, and they asked me also, I want to do some work to my house, but I'm not sure, should I do renovation, addition, or should I just tear it down to build new? Today, I want to share some of my opinion, and I want to bring up some concern or different perspective to help everybody to think about when you do your work. Build new, renovation, or addition. Okay, they have different idea, but it's not necessary. Is a if all of them got to be on sequence of which one is more important, because sometimes each owner have different cases. It just give you idea. Okay. First of all, I want to talk about is about your age of the existing dwelling. I will ask the owner is how old of your house. What is the assessment value? I have customer that bought a house or existing house was 1920s. So in other words, the house is about or almost 100 years. Actually, some is 100 years, and the 1924, 1926 is 90 something years. So they still come and ask me, say they want to do addition to it. Now my question to them is, if you build addition to this house, how does it help the value of your house? Because your assessment value of the existing house may be only less than 50,000, 60,000. But if you put more money to it to build new, how does it affect? Will that bring your house become a new house? It won't, because remember it, if you do a renovation addition to your original house, in future, if you want to sell it in future, your house is still considered as 1924. But yet, they will say, oh, we remodel or something addition. But your house is always 1924. So this is one thing I always ask people to think about that. And also, existing house condition is very important, especially for some old house. I have seen some old house, like we talk about more than 50 years, more than 60 years, it's still in very good shape. Okay? But also I've seen some house when they reach 70 years, 80 years, it's get somehow a lot of tear and wear. Now then, you as an owner, you got to think about that is, should you, or is it worth to keep that heavy tear and wear portion of your house? Now this is one of the concern, condition, right? If some of the old house, why, because if you want to do addition, sometimes you got to modify or alter interior of the existing part. But if the house condition is too bad, to keep it, when you do addition to work to it, it might getting worse, because you might take more time or money to fix the existing conditions. Okay, so now this is another one thing we're concerned. Another one is, what is the purpose of new work? Now I have some customers, they want to build addition, a new part for family. They have children, finish university, they finish college, and when they move back, or they build for, I want my family live together, or some of them, I want to rent it out portion of it. So that is a purpose of work too. Now for rented out portion, then you have different thing, right? Different idea, different strategy, because you have income. After you build, you rent it out, you have income. So that can be, you consider, so how much money you can put in. Maybe it's worth it because you have your space and you only need to build whatever you invest, right? And then how much you can collect in future. Now versus if you build for your own family, which is you are not going to sell it, right? You're not collecting income to it, then with a different way of thinking, right? Because whatever money you put, you got to think about, okay, future, how long it takes you to pay it back. So this is another thing. And also is proportional of work. How much work area? Now I have someone that have an existing house, a small house, tiny house, like only maybe less than 1,000 square feet house, and they want to build addition. And when I ask how much addition they're looking at, oh, I want to build about it to 3,000 square feet. I said with a 800 or 1,000 square feet existing house, and he want to add 2,000 something square feet to it. Now this has become hard because when we do an addition to existing, somehow you have to merge new portion to the existing, right? And is it worth to, if you put in so much area, so much money to build a new portion, but you get the design, you're going to be constrained or limited by the existing condition or existing layout. Because for the existing one, when you put the new part merge to it, somehow your layout going to work together, right? So in that one, if you're doing so much area of existing, of new work, and you also got to do some repair work or renovation work to the existing, then we would ask customer, is it worth to do? Because when we build new house, now in Hawaii, we talk about per square foot cost, it would be about $150, right? Generally, general regular house, about $100.50 per square foot. But if you renovation, you still talk about $120 maybe, because sometimes I'm getting from my contractor experience, a lot of them say when they work on existing, it's even harder. Okay, because when they work for existing, they have to get more accurate measurement to the existing to have the new work to work together, to add on. And sometimes when they open the wall, open the inside, they find all rotten wood, termite eaten wood, and have to treat it. And so they gotta spend more money to it sometimes. Now this brings to another issue, another concern is construction challenging. Okay, that means when you want to keep the existing and then build new, then is it, when we do renovation, how much cost for that renovation versus new? Now some what's called physically construction challenge is like the existing house construction. For example, if there's a existing house is an old single wall construction. When we talk single wall construction, means the exterior wall, even interior as well, is just one plywood. Now this is a very old time house construction, and those houses is very hard to work with when we add new stuff to it because it's so fragile. Because nowadays, so and also like we said, existing house is a post and pier, old time post and pier system. Now I have customers that we always have this idea, or how about I lift up the house and I build the new floor below and keep the old part. Again, that is an issue because when you lift up the house, if it's especially an old house, when the time you jack up the house, it will make your house start getting loosened up. And also maybe start damaging the floor, damaging the windows. So after you jack up the house, you still got to go back to fix the existing. So the money you put it in, right, and plus with your new part, is it still worth to coming back to build a new, keep that old one, or should you just do a new house? Now all this will be, come into play when you think about work. And also is some like the land configuration. If you have a slope land and you have a house in the bottom or in the upper part, and you want to build a new work at the below part, then even make it harder. Because if your house is in front, right by the street side, and you want to build it behind, in other words, when your contractor, when they do work, they cannot drive the big truck go to the bottom. They have to stop in the front, and everything got to be hand lifted in all the material, hand lifted to the back. So it will also increase the cost, right? So when we think about this, all this is a very important thing about when you do work to your house. Should that be addition? Should that be a renovation? Or even maybe just tear down, rebuild new will be much easier. Because build new sometimes is, you can, but most time when you build new is, you can design whatever you need, fit you want. And again, okay, about the value is, when you tear down a house, when you build new, then your house is 2020. Okay? Versus if you do renovation, when you do addition, your house is still an old house. No matter how much work you do, your house, the birthday is still 1920s, 1930s, right? When you, in future, if you, after you renovate, you live there 10, 20 years and you want to sell the house, it could be a 100-year-old house, right? And then what is the value of it when you try to sell? So it might, or whatever value, whatever money now you put it in today, it won't worth that much when the time you want to sell in the future. So all this would be a good thing. So when you start thinking, your work, doing some work to your house. Now, if you want to get more details and you want to understand more or learn more, or you want to discuss with me more, welcome to contact me or contact us. And we are available here with you. And then we can consult with you about your projects. Thank you very much.